Welcome to the Supporting Chaos podcast. I'm Sammy.
Sorry I'm late.
Of course you are.
Sorry I'm late.
What's on your shirt?
Could be throw up.
I think I have a stain remover. I think this is yours.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you have wipes. That'll do. Oh my gosh, guess what?
Let's hit record first.
I'm a little nervous on this white chair.
So you're going to spill something?
No, I did forget tampons and I'm
Well, that's the way to welcome to the Supporting Chaos. Welcome to the Supporting Chaos podcast. I was just about to say.
That's why before the last episode I had to run.
Should we get you a towel?
I kept my leggings on underneath my thing so that just in case.
Oh man. Well, I was gonna say you remind me of the
Regina George.
The mom.
Every time
I'm not a regular mom. I'm a cool
Every time
mom.
I put this on an Amazon Live, I always am like, yeah, film it.
Also, like your colors, so like.
The back of it too is stained really bad.
This is the perfect yeah. Here, let me.
You know what I did though?
This is bothering me.
My front was so bad. This is kind of gross.
It's okay. You should share it. We're all friends.
Yeah, I'm just gonna keep my legs under me so I don't bleed on their chair.
And that's how we got kicked out of the podcast studio.
Okay, if they kick me out by suing by period blood on their chair, I'm suing. Okay, well, I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh, I took the green machine to the stain on this. It actually came out.
Wow.
I'm like, it kind of worked.
Oh.
But then, as I was doing it, the thing is, I thought about the last time I used the green machine was cleaning up throw up from my kids from the car. So.
You need to like stand up and do that scene to like, I'm not a regular mom, I'm a cool mom. Like,
can you do a dance routine and I'll sit there like, yeah, Sammy?
The camcorder. Well, this is the perfect way to start a Type B episode because,
Yeah. Welcome back. Today, we're deep diving into what kind of mom you are because you are supposed to be in a category now. It's a thing.
Yep.
It's very obvious if you can't tell already which one I am. But
I actually do feel like when people, because everyone's saying like everyone's Type B now apparently according to the internet, but I do feel like you're like the poster child.
I could be on a billboard of what is Type B. Here I am. I am the Type B. I'm the leader of Type B Type Bers. So okay, if you don't know what Type B and Type A are, Type B, you're more of a personality style that's laid back, patient, flexible. You probably forgot picture day. You can find a snack in any purse, have a laundry chair instead of a laundry basket. So just very, like, unorganized.
Crazy things.
Me. In Type A, you're more, like, driven, competitive, organized. You color code your sock drawer. I can't imagine my kids going to school with the same color sock. That's wild. Has a laminated family schedule and probably packs Pinterest-worthy lunches. Very different personalities. And there's been like this whole big theme on social media that you're either Type B or Type A, and then we have Sammy.
And then there's me.
What are you?
I never fit into a box.
She never fits. She's a Gemini.
Yep. I got both. It is so funny. I really don't know much about the, I was going to say astronomy, astrology stuff.
Well, I literally believed like, they say like Type C.
Yeah.
And so I went, as I was looking up like what exactly Type B and Type A is, I type in what is Type C, and it's like, that's not a thing.
Yeah.
It's not an actual thing.
I do feel like though I don't think Type C is really a thing. I think I am Type A, but with ADHD.
Yeah.
So, and I'm just confusing. And that's why, like, I don't know much about someone who's like an expert. I would love to talk about it because I am such a Gemini for whatever that means.
Yeah.
Which Gemini means you have two personalities, basically, like you're twins.
Yeah.
So you're always like fighting each other. And that's like my life. Like, because it is hard to be both because
A and there's Sammy
my
B.
brain is calm in Type A. Like, whereas like you can actually do work in a messy environment. I'm not saying it's ideal, but like you can't, like I actually can't. So being Type A and Type B is actually really exhausting.
Well, and like I think one thing too is like I can like seriously like if plans change, if something happens, I'm very like, okay, like
Yeah.
whatever, let's keep going. I don't care. And it throws you off.
It does.
Like,
it also depends on the thing.
Yeah.
Which is also another part that's like, it just doesn't make sense. Like, I can look at a situation and tell you how I would react, but it's not like a perfect formula.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you probably would, since you know me so well, like, but it's case by case.
Yeah. Well, I think too, like, a lot of people are like, it's. I'm not gonna toot my own horn, okay? Well, but I was a really good teacher,
Yeah.
and I think a lot of times you're tied with like teachers are very organized and stuff, but there is something with children with going with the flow. Oh, my phone. Sorry, go away. Spam.
You're so popular.
Stop calling me.
It's just like a debt collector.
It literally probably is. It literally probably is. I consolidated my credit recently. They won't stop calling me. It's the whole thing.
Gosh, you're so popular.
So I'm type B and ADHD. But yeah, so we're gonna get into it this episode and really break down why we all don't have to fit in the box, even though some of us are born in a box.
I will say, like, type B is like trending right now.
It is.
And this is what actually annoys me though, is the type A people who are now trying to act like they're type B.
Yeah,
it's like,
because it's trendy.
You're the more the influencers with like the perfect houses and stuff who are now like, oh, I'm so type B. It's like, no, you're not.
You're not. You're never
it's okay.
type B.
You don't have to follow all the trends, right? Like, you don't have to try to be type B because you are type A. And I also think some of them are like, well, maybe I'm type C because now that I'm a mom, I'm like more chill about stuff. It's like, no,
that's just
being a mom.
Yeah,
like you're still type A.
You're
like
still
your
type
core
A.
is still type A.
Yeah, it's like rant. If yeah, never mind.
It's a good point.
Yeah. And on that note, let's keep digging in. Okay, but I was thinking about the other day. So I made this video. Like, there's like type B stuff trending, and so I made like this video that was like type B when you're type B as a mom, where I like kind of showed my things. One girl stole my idea. Now it's her whole profile, but we won't go there. But I was like, it got a really good response, and I was thinking about that and thinking about like what. Like the pressure of motherhood, and I was like, why is type B finally trending? Why are people relating? Are finally like, oh yeah, me too. Like, there's a lot of comments that were like, I feel seen.
Yeah,
and
well, because it's the Instagram, social media has changed so much, but for a very long time, it was all picture perfect. I mean, the big influencers, the people like that who have these perfect like profiles and stuff.
Yeah.
The type B people look at their white
type B
everything.
People can't finish a video, so they're not really online.
These is the podcast studio chairs that are white. We can't have white things. But you see like their houses and you feel like, oh my gosh, I suck.
Yeah.
Something's wrong with me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you think too, like, I feel like motherhood is really closely tied with perfection to be a good mom. Almost like you need to be on top of it. And so I think there truly are people that are type B and ADD and forget things. And I think it's really nice for people to see the other moms that aren't perfect and that do forget to decide the field trip and do like these things, which is so different from like, to be a good mom, you have to have schedules and you have to make sure the socks are out color coded and all those kind of things. And I think this like, I like the fact that it's trending. I mean, I think it's cool. People want to be type B, like go for it. It's not that fun, but I think too, because it's not that fun. Like I joke about it a lot, but I don't like the fact that I forget things. I don't like the fact that, I forgot to pay the money for Kona Ice and she didn't get a slushie the other day. Like, I don't, like, it breaks my heart.
Kill me.
It breaks my heart sometimes. And so, as much as we joke about it, there is stuff about being type B that's like, dang it.
Yeah.
Like, it's not a great feeling all the time.
Yeah.
So, I think other moms, like, seeing that and being like, oh my gosh, thank God it's not just me.
Yeah.
Is like a good trend.
I mean, I feel like that is so true with everything too. And that's where like, I mean, everyone knows it, but comparison is the thief of joy, right?
Yeah.
Because immediately you think about, okay, I forgot the cone of ice money, but all the other moms didn't, you
Yeah.
know? And so that's what makes it so hard. But I do think, and I think, so our friend Casey, she actually made a video about, she's very type A.
Yeah.
And she made a video that was saying that it was so hard for her to snuggle her kids and like watch a
Oh,
TV
yeah.
show. And I actually thought that was really interesting because it put it into perspective. Like, it's not hard for me to snuggle my kids.
Yeah.
Like like yesterday we watched like 5 episodes of Bubble Guppies for some reason,
Yeah.
just like snuggling on the couch. And so I do think even when you get like, it's okay to want to improve, like, get more organized or try to like work on your things, but there are pluses and
Yeah.
minuses to both.
They're really and so, like, I think, like, obviously, my being unorganized is one of my least favorite skills, but my ability to just, like, pivot and just, like, "Okay, it's okay, who cares? Let's" I do love. Like, I
Yeah.
do think it's, like, in a way, a superpower because it just doesn't get to me that much. So I'm like,
Yeah.
"Let's just keep moving." Like, it is what it is. We're gonna be okay. And so I think, like, there's probably type A people out there that are like, "Dang, I wish I could, like, just go with the flow like that." And there's type Bers that are like, "Yeah, I wish I could
Well, I also think
have
you're
the
really good
flow."
at being present with your kids too,
Thank you.
but I think that is a superpower of sort of
Because
being
I
type
don't
B.
care about the other stuff. I'm like, "All right, yeah, let's do this. What do you guys wanna do?"
Because I mean, again, I am someone who is both, depending on
Yeah.
the thing, and I am planning work like, I feel like there's so much always going through my brain that sometimes it is hard for me to be present, but then when I tap into my type B, like yesterday, I was just like, "Today is not my day.
Yeah.
Let's go paddleboarding and,
Yeah.
like, do shit, like, let's have fun." I
Yeah.
am more present when I tap into that side,
Yeah.
and so it's not one's better than the other.
When I was looking up, like, type B and type A, it was saying that type A people do have more stress
Mhm.
because they're constantly worried about, like,
That's why
the
it's harder when you're type B and type A.
But I do see the perks of both
Yeah.
types. And I don't think you have to be one.
No, I mean, everything's on a spectrum. I feel like the only thing that's funny to me is the people who are like, "Maybe I'm type C," and it's like, "No, you're type A." Like,
Yeah.
you can't.
If you have to guess if you're type B, then you're not type B, I feel like.
Yeah.
Like, the type B people deep down, they know. They like, it's pretty
And I'm seeing, like, the
apparent.
most type A people saying that they're type C, and I'm like, "Nuh-uh, mm-mm, I see your house. You cannot do that to me."
We couldn't be you guys when it was trending, so you guys can't pretend to be us when it's trending.
No, I'm just kidding. You can't nobody needs to fit into a box,
No.
but I do feel like there's always a spectrum of everything, right? Like,
Well,
where
and
you
that's
kind of
why I
fall.
love that you're not both. That you're not either.
I'm not
Little
either.
Gemini.
I know.
Because I do think it is the perfect metaphor for motherhood because we all have different lives. We all
Yeah.
have different kids. We all have different husbands. We all have different, just so many things. And just like when there used to be like those, I think there's still a thing, but there's like scripted parenting like books and stuff
Yeah.
like that. You can't write a script for parenting. Everybody's life is
That
different.
was actually some of the biggest fights that Mario and I ever got into is we did a course that I think they've changed a lot. So this was probably 5 years ago, and I think they have changed, but 5 years ago, the course was literally scripts
Yeah.
that you're supposed to use in a situation. And we started fighting because he wouldn't say the script, and he was sort of like, "This is ridiculous. Like, I can't say this doesn't work." We
Yeah.
also have child who's ADD. I'm ADD. My husband's ADD. Like, the thought of one script working for every single child
It's
is just
insane.
insane.
The idea of even having a script just for me that would work for all three of them, like, no.
Yeah.
So you can't put yourself in a box of like, oh, hey, everyone should be a type B mom. The world would be a shit show. It would literally blow up. And if the world was all type A, I mean, okay, that could work, but it wouldn't be as fun sometimes.
It would not be as fun. And I really do. I wish someone was like super type A that could come on here too and kind of say, because I do feel like we always just have to remember that everybody is fighting their own things of like,
Yeah.
my kids have said like my 6-year-old says that I'm half kid, half mom.
Yeah.
Or half adult, which I actually like.
Yeah, you're a real adult.
I think it's kind of cute that he thinks that I'm fun.
Yeah.
Right? And I love that. But I feel like if you're super type A, maybe you struggle with just kind of having fun and playing with your kids at times.
And one thing I think you're really good about too is like you explain a lot, because I think you and your oldest have
actually
similar brains sometimes.
It's a trauma response.
But like no, you're like even like how your oldest will be like, "Oh, yep, you forgot again." Like, I think that's okay to like I think that's like a good thing to be like, "Yeah, sometimes my brain works like this."
Yeah.
And like for them to like own it, especially because he has a similar brain as you.
Yeah.
And so I think like that's a really cool thing too.
Yeah, I feel like it's so hard, but at some point of like you always want to try to get better and work on things that are like your flaws, right? Like there's something wrong with that. But there at some point too, you have to accept like, hey, this is who I am.
And I think that is 30.
Yeah, I do.
I think that
really
is like
do.
I literally feel like we were talking about this the other day. I feel like I have like woken up as a 30-year-old and I'm trying to improve myself, but I'm also like, okay, who are you pretending? Like, you are who you are. Embrace it, own it, live up to it. Yeah, try and work on it, but I'm like, cool. Yeah, I'm a hot mess. It just is what it is. Like, embrace it. And I think I didn't embrace it until I became 30. And now I'm just like, I don't owe anybody anything.
Yeah.
This is just me.
Unfortunately. Yeah, I mean, I do. It's also exhausting.
It really is.
It really is.
No matter if you're type A, B, C, D, X, Y, and Z.
I know. I feel like this is like a really good example. I was actually talking to my therapist about it the other day. With like my type A is obviously like a little bit of a control thing, but like so they come over a lot to eat dinner.
Yep.
And I love that they come to our house. I ordered the groceries, not because of like it's just easy. It's less stress for me.
We've been on bachelorette trips before.
In control of that.
Where people are like, does anybody want to ask what Sammy wants? Because we're about to do a grocery shop. And I go, no. Every time I say, don't ask her, she likes her things.
I do.
And I'm like, just don't ask her because she's going to do it herself.
Yeah, like I like to have and sometimes we won't even do the y'all will come over and then I'll be like, okay, Justin, you have to cook, or Mario, you do this. Like, I'll boss people around, or we'll be like, oh, scrap that, let's do something else. But I like to have I like plans and backup plans. Like, I like things to, I don't know, because I think I get stressed.
You like to know what to expect, kind of, but you can still go from it.
Yeah. That's where it's like.
That's where you're type A and type B at the same time.
Maybe. Like, I like things. I like people to come over to my house. I love people to come over to my house. But I work hard to try to facilitate that where like we've got drinks that people like, snacks that people like things in order. It just and I think it is like obviously like a trauma thing with so much of my life was so out of control.
Yeah.
I really try to control the things that I can.
Control the controllables, yeah.
But yeah, it's just exhausting up there. My type A wants everything to be clean.
Yeah.
So I get very overwhelmed by my type B actions.
Yeah.
It's like my brain's type A.
What is that bitch
my
doing over
type
there?
B. Like it's like we're just constantly fighting each other, the two sides of my brain.
Well, and
I need a nap.
Well, and it's nice because I feel like you and Mario like balance each other out too. Because like Mario's also type A and type B.
Yeah, he really is.
Like he's very structured, but he's also like,
breaks dishes
when he's trying to clean the kitchen. Like things like that.
He breaks like, I'm not kidding you, at least one dish a week. Like that's like being conservative.
But like he's very organized with like the stuff and the plans and what he's doing that day.
He's
and
very organized with work.
Yeah.
And I do think he's pretty type A with like a little bit of like boy ADD.
Yeah.
Where he just does things fast. And so he breaks dishes like, so he doesn't sound like a psycho. I think I should explain this. So he does the dishes at our house. And a lot of times he comes home like late, like 8 o'clock, and he'll clean up like the kitchen. And he just slams like the dishwasher. Like he just does things hard and fast.
He's cleaning
and
quickly.
I don't complain about it anymore. This might sound like I'm complaining, but I don't. Because I finally was like, he comes home from work
And he's doing
and
it.
does the dishes.
Yeah.
And, like, if I want him to do the dishes, I have to let this go.
Yeah.
So our cups are mason jars from Amazon. Like, they're not expensive, right?
Yeah.
They're like $3 a jar cup. So I can order more cups.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to
Take
accept
your
that.
battles and whatnot. Yeah, that makes sense.
But he is very organized with work and his schedule. And one of the biggest things that I'm like trying to soak up from him and trying to learn is like, he also, if he says he's going to do something, he is going to do
Keeps
it.
himself accountable. Yeah.
You never, like, if he was going to do one thing for work and then the day got to, like, things happen, he'll put the kids to bed and do it at 9:30.
Yeah.
And it is honestly, like, one of the coolest traits I'm, like, trying to absorb from him.
I actually saw something the other day that was like, um, one of like the biggest like self-sabotaging things you can do is not keep a promise to
Yeah.
yourself.
I listened to a podcast. This was years ago, and I've always thought about that. I think it was the Ed Millette podcast with him and her podcast, but
Hmm.
this was when we were living in Kansas City. But it always stuck with me, and it was like the most important promises that you keep are the promises to yourself
Yeah.
because I know I do that all the time. Is I say I'm going to do something and then I don't, and so like yeah, you're not going to trust yourself,
Yeah.
and that is like your relationship with yourself is so
So important.
important.
It's so big for your self-esteem and
Yeah.
everything of being like, and when you say you're going to do something and you do it, it is like, it's kind of like a high. Like you
Mhm.
feel so proud of yourself. And I think that's an important thing of like, even like, and I've gotten so much better at this, even like self-care as a
Mhm.
mom and like prioritizing yourself too. Once you actually follow through and do something for you, you're like, "Ah, I did it."
And it also, like, it takes out the mental exhaustion. Like, one of the biggest problems that with or one of the hardest part about being a mom is the mental load.
Yeah.
So, it's like, you don't consider brushing your teeth part of your mental load because it's a habit that you
Yeah.
just do it. So, the more that you're not keeping promises to yourself, then you're thinking, "Okay, well, I'm not gonna do it. Am I gonna do it? Should I do it tomorrow? Oh, okay, well, this I have to do this instead." Like, that
Is
is exhausting
yeah.
versus, like, because I feel like that's one of the things that I noticed with Mario too, is he shares a lot of the mental load with me, and I'm very grateful for that, but his brain's just naturally less busy, and
Yeah.
he's very stressed too in his own ways, and, like,
It's
obviously,
like the same thing. He has that type A brain with a little bit of
like, he I think
the
he keeps promises
ADHD.
to himself,
Yeah.
really, and so, like, my brain just goes, and goes,
Yeah.
and that adds to so much of the mental load, and that is because I'm saying that because I have a partner who shares the mental load with me. If your partner's not sharing the mental load, like, that's different,
Yeah.
but my brain is just busier than his,
Yeah.
and I think a lot of that I need to look at myself and do a better job of keeping promises to myself.
Yeah. Whereas then I feel like Justin and I are both super type B, jumping on a trampoline, trying to high five each other and balance the mental load together while we just don't know what the fuck is going on everywhere around
Mario's
us.
always so funny. Whenever, like, something happens, he just, like, looks at you guys, he's like, "I'm so stressed by them."
My twin came and stayed with us, and she was just like, "I don't know how you guys function." But you know what? I also was like, "Oh my god, if I was married to somebody super type A, they would murder me. Like they would not. We would have definitely got divorced because like, yeah, I
Mario
don't know."
actually told me that one time, and this might sound like he's being an asshole, but he's not. He told me, like, I asked him, I said, "What's, like, your biggest thing that I annoy you by? Like,
Yeah,
what's, like, my biggest like, fault or whatever?" And he said, "Not finishing things." And I was like,
yeah,
"True."
yeah.
So I know that it does annoy him, but
One
he's also
time,
good.
one time, Justin goes. So we kind of had like a similar conversation.
Yeah.
Well, we always do. Like I forget to like whenever people are around and everyone's kind of like venting about their husbands about how like they don't put like the toothpaste cap back or like shut the cabinets, and I'm like, oh yeah, those assholes. That's me. Like that is me. And so like Justin's like said before, he's like, can you please just like put the milk cap back on? And I'm like, I'm
Yeah.
sorry, it's just the way my brain works. And I finally goes, you married me for me, okay? I can try, and I will really try, and I'll put reminders. Like, I literally one time wrote a sticky note in the fridge. I was like, put cat back on, because I just move, and I don't think about it. And I was finally like, you have to accept me for me. I
Yeah.
will work on myself, but you have to accept. And after that conversation, it was kind of like, he was like, okay.
Mario's actually that's so funny because you guys are similar in that way. Like if everyone's at my house, I can tell if Gracie and Mario did something.
Yeah.
That's what's like funny about him is he does not shut like any what is the name of it? Speaking of exhausted brain,
Cabinets.
He doesn't shut cabinets or he'll put back. This is my biggest pet peeve is like a bag of chips with like one chip left in it.
Oh, I don't do that.
And I'm like,
That drives me crazy.
it drives me crazy. So he does things like that. But he again is still I would consider type A, but I think that's what was your point. Like he has like type
Both
B
of them.
things.
Well, like, I think too, the thing, and I said this kind of earlier too, but like, I also look at the cabinet and I'm like, why didn't I shut it? Like, I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
my brain just doesn't work like that. And it does get kind of frustrating to look back. Like, I've had moments where I like,
The
so
spray paint.
this is, yeah, I was literally about to talk about
I didn't
it.
know if I was allowed to bring it up because
Like,
you got mad last
I was
time.
so sad about it. So
I know, I felt
spray
bad.
painted these shelves. And
We'll have to
it
put a
got all
picture
on the
up.
side of the wall. I'll give you guys a picture. On the side of the house. And like, I just did it. And I didn't even think about it. And then Justin was like, what is that? And I was like, oh my gosh. And he put it on his Instagram story. And like, I got so many text messages that day of people being like, just like making fun of me. And I like broke down because I was like, I don't like it either.
Yeah.
I'm gonna cry now. Like, I
Yeah.
don't like it.
Yeah.
And so it is frustrating because, like, I don't know why my brain works like that sometimes. It just does. And so,
Yeah.
like, I think one thing people don't understand is, like, I'm working on it, but, like, also, like, I hate it
Yeah.
sometimes too. So, like, I don't know.
I do think a lot of yours though too is like if you didn't know, like our mom died when I was 14 and you were 9.
Yeah.
So you also like
And I
did
told
it
Justin that too. I was like, nobody taught me how to do anything.
yeah, like obviously Shannon was like a really but it's just still different because she's
Yeah.
like your aunt and like not living at your house all the time. Like, but you didn't have a mm, uh someone just kind of teaching you how to be an adult, how to take
Yeah.
care of yourself, like how to and I think that is if I could have you just give yourself like a little bit of cry too now. Give yourself a little
When
bit
I
of
always
grace with
grew up,
that.
I always grew up really fast. Like, I was
Yeah,
always, like, a
you
little
did.
bit older for my grade.
But you've always been I mean, like, we have a 5-year age gap, but I do feel like you have always been, like, mature for your
Yeah.
age, which
But I've always just tried to, like, figure things out and, like, I don't know, just do it.
but I do think, like, that's a big, like I mean, I even feel like, I'm that way, but I had more years of, like, watching her at 14,
Yeah.
but 9? Like, your oldest is almost 7. Like,
I
think
know,
about
I
that.
think about that all the time. I'm like, "Oh my god," like,
I mean, you had a very
wild.
like, we all had fucked up childhoods in different way, but you were, like, a child too. Like,
Mhm.
that I do really I think we're all wired different ways, and that's but a lot of things are, like, trauma responses and how you were raised, and, like,
Yeah.
you weren't and I guess okay, that's the whole other thing is I actually worry about that sometimes with how I'm raising my kids because I am messy. I'm like,
Yeah.
"Shit, I don't want them to, like, learn to be
Well,
messy."
and, like, that's, with my oldest too, I've been like I've said stuff like, "Okay, yeah, we just have to create a routine," like, because
Yeah.
mommy's brain doesn't know how to do a routine, and so I'm trying like, let's help each other out. Like, I'm like, "Let's work on this together," because I don't like this aspect about me, and
Mhm.
it's not like I'm, like, talking super negatively about myself, I'm just saying, "This is something I'm really trying to work on, so let's do it together,"
Mhm.
and I feel like admitting your faults
Yeah.
and being like, "Here's how I'm trying to work on it,"
Mhm.
is, like, a good parenting thing, like, and
Absolutely.
I think we grew up with a lot of, like, our generation with a lot of, like, hide your faults, don't say sorry, don't apologize,
Yeah.
don't admit that you could work on anything, and
Mhm.
I think it creates, like, the child to then have, like you think it's on you. You think
Yeah.
you're messed up. You think like, how I think I'm like, "I don't know why I'm so bad at being organized," you know, like,
Yeah.
it's I think we're doing something really great in being like, hey, these are our faults and it's okay to not be perfect. And
Yeah.
here's
I actually talked to my oldest about that this summer because I've had, like, I just had a miscarriage and I've had like a lot of like postpartum rage, which has actually gotten better recently. And I think because I'm really like trying to hit it like
yeah.
head on. But he sees it because I yell like
Yeah.
out of nowhere. And so I told him this summer, I said, I feel like this summer, let's like really work together on like our communicating.
Yeah.
And like he was all pumped about it. And like I was like, I gotta work. I'm working on this stuff too because that's life. Like you don't just I do feel like there is such like a thing when you were a kid that you were just gonna grow up and become an adult and have everything
Mm-hmm.
together. And that's not the case. Like
Yeah.
every day we're working on ways to better ourselves and get better,
Yeah.
even more so almost when you get older.
Yeah.
Because you have to like really
All of a
think
sudden
back
you
and
really
work on it.
realize
You really realize how fucked up you are.
you really realize the brain that you live in. Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, even like the other day I kind of like yelled and my oldest goes, Mom, you're yelling at me about yelling, but you need to watch your own tone, I think. And I was like, oh, you're right.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I love the fact that I'm raising kids that are okay to say that to an adult. That are like,
Mhm.
you can't get mad at me for raising my voice and then raise your voice.
Yeah.
Like that's not okay too. And I think being able and I don't like to say like especially girls, but I think being able to like stick up for yourself in a situation and be like, hey, no, it's not okay for you to not treat me fairly. Like respect isn't just given, it's earned. You
Yeah.
have to like it's a mutual respect thing. It's not just like shut up and listen to me because I'm the adult.
Yeah.
And so I think it's like a cool, I don't know, just like a cool aspect to like realize.
Yeah.
But
We might yell.
we might
We
yell.
might not be perfect. We might not be type. We might be type B, but I don't know. We're all just trying our best.
We really are.
But I do feel like that's something that I always look back on with, parental figures too. Like I was talking to my uncle about this the other day. Is like I feel like as a parent, like you do look back and have empathy for them because they were
Mhm.
trying. Like I don't look back at like my aunt or someone and be like, oh my gosh, you yelled at me one time.
Yeah.
Like
I saw something the other day that was like, whenever you're struggling or whatever, as a mom, give yourself grace because this is your first time living too.
yeah,
And I was like, oh, that's so right. This is my first time having a 7, 4, and 3-year-old.
yeah.
This is my first time being 31. This is my first time. Like,
I do think that's like really important too. And like you have to take inventory of like where you feel mentally, where
mhm,
if like you're being really hard on yourself,
yeah,
then you need to step back and like give yourself
chill.
grace, right? If you're in a spot where, you know, you're not you can get work on things, then like work on them. Like
Yeah,
but if you're at a point where you're just like spiraling, then I do think like especially, I mean always, but like take that step back and like it's your
yeah,
first time.
yeah. It's our first time.
It's your first time on earth being a
But I feel
mom.
like the moral of this story, we might have gone on to a little tangent, though, is just like owning who you are as a parent, owning who you are as a mother, as a person, as an individual, as an adult, everything. Just like give yourself grace for where you are and just, I don't know, like appreciate your strengths and just like own your individualism as a parent and as an adult.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, it's always goes back to it's so cliche, but I don't think there's a quote like that's more accurate of the world is like comparison is the thief of joy.
yeah.
And
And
I think you need to be very like careful like what you're consuming on social media, like
mhm.
when you find yourself in that comparison trap because we all like you're saying like
Yeah.
have our strengths and weaknesses.
Yeah.
Like
And if all the type B's are on this side of the room and all the type A's are on this side of the room
I'm bouncing back and
and you're
forth.
somewhere in the middle, it's okay to just be your own category.
Yes.
You don't have to fit in a box.
You do not. And if you are type A, you stick
You don't
to
have
your
to be type B.
A.
You don't want to be type B. Trust me. You not see me cry. You don't want to be type
There's
B.
a lot of trends in social media. You can be in the next one, but like
Yes.
let the type Bers enjoy their moment here.
let us live.